This house behind me had not been submerged by flood. This house in question was built in the 50s and had not been submerged by flood. This house is owned by a dentist by name Papa Estra Kalama. He owns this structure. But this structure you are seeing today is an old architectural masterpiece. Why I've decided to take this structure is because I want to elucidate and send a message to all Nigerians who cares to listen. More particularly because of the attitude of Nigerians concerning the electoral outcome, where ultimatums have been issued. People have been talking recklessly. People have been saying all manner of things because of the outcome of the elections. People are even threatening violence. I want to call the attention of Nigerians that this structure you see here is the handwork of violence. Precisely the Nigerian Civil War. This Asamabiri community, as I earlier mentioned, this house belonged to Papa Estra Kalama. The house is a victim of the Nigerian Civil War. This house in question is a victim of the Nigerian Civil War. This house is an old colonial architectural masterpiece. If you can see, this house is built with 9 inches non-hollow. 9 inches non-hollow. And these blocks that are on ground can equally stand in another test of time for another 50 years. Despite the fact that this house has been in existence for 50 years plus. You can see that this house is a masterpiece. Nigerians that are calling for we will not go agree, we will do this, we will do that are threatening fire and brimstone. If they have not seen the effect of war, let them come to Asamabiri community. This community was the theater of war between the Nigerian forces and the Biafran forces. And this is what was left behind for us to come and witness. It is the Nigerian Civil War that had kept this house like this. And this house never elicited joy to the owner before the man passed on after the Nigerian Civil War. I want to seize this opportunity to pray to Nigerians that there is no perfect situation and Nigerians need to be extremely very cautious in a manner that we will not burn ourselves. For those persons who have decided to make the streets their permanent home and be demonstrating over electoral matters, there are procedural standards that they need to adopt. The courtrooms are there for people to go and adjudicate their differences if they need be. So I want to urge every citizen of this country to stop the street demonstrations, because further demonstrations will lead to counter demonstrations, and counter demonstrations will lead to violence. We urge all Nigerians to maintain peace and allow all the aggrieved parties to go to court to ventilate their grievances concerning the elections. We cannot afford to burn Nigeria. That is my message. And on the part of Bayelsa State government, I pray the Bayelsa State government to come to Asamabiri community and take over this structure, discuss with the family, the owners of this structure, the children are alive, discuss with them and take over this structure and keep this structure as a museum and let it serve as a distaste for violence. Let children be brought into this community to come and see the outcome of violence. Violence, full-blown war between the Nigerian government and the Biafran dissidents in 1967 to 1970. 3 years running, this country was in turmoil. And it is interesting that when this kind of structure exists, the Bayelsa State government should come and take this as part of a museum or monument. I'm calling on the governor of Bayelsa State, Senator Doedri, to come to Asamabiri and acquire this property and keep this property for children to come and see the outcome of violence, that we should detest violence. I pray that Doedri listens and come and acquire this property from the owners in Asamabiri community. Thank you and God bless all of us.